Tonight on the Northwestern News Report. Returning soon, we speak with the rabbi of Evanston residents who were the first hostages released by Hamas.
Plus, new lounge loading inside the new Norris space, leveling up in new gamers.
And flowering fun. A look at a national campaign inspiring acts of kindness.
Those stories and more tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
It's your news
right now. Good evening and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Max Rothfeder.
And I'm Logan Zhihan. We begin tonight with the ongoing war in Israel and Gaza. Last Friday, the mother and daughter from Evanston that were being held hostage by Hamas were released, the first freed of over 200 hostages. This photo put out by the Israeli Prime Minister's office shows Judith and Natalie Renan late Friday evening. The two were in Israel visiting family when they were kidnapped by Hamas just over 2 weeks ago. Hamas says they were released for humanitarian reasons. While Judith was reportedly in poor health, the family's rabbi told me that he spoke with her after the release and that she is in, quote, amazing spirits. He recalled the moment when he heard the two were being freed.
We were ecstatic. We were feeling overjoyed. We felt a tremendous amount of gratitude to the Almighty God for this incredible miracle, the first hostages to be released. At the same time, we have a tremendous amount of pain and concern, and our hearts are heavy because we know that there are still over 200 hostages in the hands of Hamas.
And Logan, where do things stand with the efforts to free the hundreds of other hostages that are still being held by Hamas?
Well, Max, of course, there was some more good news yesterday that 2 Israeli hostages were released. That's in addition to the Renans, but of course, there are still over 200 hostages still projected to be held in Hamas captivity. And of course, there are groups like the United States, Egypt, Qatar, Israel. Officials from all those states are working with Hamas to try to secure the release of more hostages. But of those over 200, there's still 9 members of the Renan family, they say, that are currently being held hostage. And unfortunately, today we learned that one of them was killed in captivity. So still a lot more work to do to secure their release.
Well, thank you so much, Logan, for the interview and for the update. Northwestern Students for Justice in Palestine issued a statement last night, scrutinizing an email sent by President Michael Schill to the NU community on October 13th in response to violence amidst the Israel and Hamas conflict. SJP says, quote, the email was criticized for omitting mention of the Palestinian casualties in the ongoing conflicts, and, quote, critics pointed out President Schill's absence at the Vigil for Palestine, contrasting it with his participation in the Vigil for Israel. Now, NNN reached out to the university's spokesperson, John Yates, and SJP for comment, but did not hear back from either group. SJP is hosting a walkout in support of Palestine tomorrow at 2 p.m. They plan to walk out of class and to the ground floor of Norris University Center.
Turning now to an update in the ongoing battle to rebuild Ryan Field. A special city council meeting will be held next Monday, focusing solely on the construction of the new stadium and the opportunity for concerts in the new venue. The meeting coming after the Evanston Land Use Commission, which we should note holds no legislative power, voted unanimously to approve the new stadium following hours of public comment and deliberation. However, the commissioners voted 7-2 against adjusting zoning laws to allow concerts to be held there. Mayor Daniel Biss named the ordinances special orders of business, allowing them to pass over the Planning and Development Committee and go straight to the City Council. The construction of Ryan Field and the proposed amendment to Evanston zoning laws will be voted on separately. If the 2 ordinances pass on Monday, there will likely be a final City Council vote to approve them on November 13th.
In other City Council news, the Council may soon consider a newly drafted ordinance to ban natural gas connections. The ban would exempt commercial kitchens to avoid the possibility of restaurant lawsuits. In a town hall, staff in the city's building electrification group have raised questions on whether the city's power grid could handle the increased demand of all-electric buildings. The current plan is to introduce the draft at a City Council meeting on November 13th. The natural gas ban could be up for a final vote at the following meeting on the 27th. And coming up, Norris gets its game on, NNN checks out the new Nexus Gaming Lounge.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
Ready, set, go!
Welcome back. Norris threw a grand opening for the new Nexus Gaming Lounge last week. NNN's Micah Sandy takes a look at the new space click by click.
After months of construction, the Nexus Gaming Lounge is here, located in the basement of the Norris University Center, free for all Northwestern students for up to 10 hours each week. This comes after the NU Esports Club petitioned for a PC lounge last winter. Now, they have a space to practice for gaming competitions.
It was honestly just kind of like a perfect kind of like domino effect. Like through the petition, through the donor, that just started to catch the attention of the administration at Norris.
The space home to 10 Lenovo PCs and special gaming chairs.
It's pretty awesome. Like, I think it's going to be great to have just a space to like play together as opposed to just on like voice chat.
More than just for gaming, esports is also working out a configuration for streaming.
I feel that we're now complete. We have a complete gaming space.
Nexus aims to reduce barriers as students no longer need to bring their own PCs to enjoy gaming.
Like, for example, like international students who can't like lug a PC all the way over. So that was sort of the proof that we had, kind of, that we were able to find enough people that were going to be interested in this space.
The lodge was made possible through a donation, which covered about a third of the cost, and Norris covered the rest.
The timing just came together when the donors visited us, and then we had some money and some available space, and we knew everything was coming together. And that's really where the name Nexus came from too, is really bringing things together.
Fostering community through gaming for years to come. Micah Sandy, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Micah. The Nexus Game Lounge is open from 2 to 10 p.m. every Sunday through Thursday, and from noon to 10 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays.
Northwestern's Associated Student Government announced the start of the new ASG Executive Grant for this academic year in a press release earlier this month. This grant combines 3 previously available funds, the Community Building Grant, Wild Ideas Grant, and Affinity Fund Grant. Now, student groups only have to fill out 1 application to be eligible for some of the executive grant's $69,000, which will be divided and distributed over 3 quarters. ASG's goal for the grant is to streamline the funding process for student groups, making it faster and easier.
They'll apply, and hopefully within a couple of weeks we'll be able to give them an answer and give them next steps and get that money to them as soon as possible.
The fall quarter application opened on October 6th and closes on December 10th.
The university will test its campus-wide emergency notification system, RAVE, on Thursday at 10 a.m. An Alert NU test message will be sent to you via text, email, and phone. Increased attention to the NU community's safety and security measures comes after scrutiny to the university's communications during a shooting at Clark Street Beach back in April. Students, faculty, and staff have their information automatically entered into the system, but in an email notice sent to the NU community, Chief of Police Bruce A. Lewis recommends verifying your emergency messaging contact information in MyHR or Caesar. Anyone can enroll in the University Emergency Notification System through Alert NU by texting Alert NU to 226787. For more information, visit Northwestern's Emergency Notification Systems webpage.
And last weekend, Northwestern University hosted its annual Family Weekend. The weekend was full of events, lectures, and a volleyball game, but one major draw was missing, a Wildcat football game. NNN's Sadie Frankel stopped by events to see what the weekend looked like without the Family Weekend staple.
Campus tours, information sessions, and a volleyball game, Northwestern University's Family Weekend was an exciting opportunity for students to spend time with their guests. But this year's Family Weekend was missing a much-anticipated hallmark.
Parents have definitely asked us, why no football game?
The reason? Scheduling conflicts with the university's home games. Families were disappointed that they did not have this event to share with their kids.
It just seems like a natural bonding experience and something that could really be exceptional.
Northwestern family engagement filled the missing football game with other events.
Had a career services panel. We've had an Office of the Fellowships panel. Right now there's a fraternity and sorority life panel right now. The Block Museum is open all day.
But still, some parents mourn the loss of the football outing.
Can't replace a Big Ten football game.
While other families excited about the new programming.
I mean, we've done everything. We went to a couple of faculty lectures yesterday and some other presentations by people from the school, administrators, and spent a lot of time with our daughter also.
But for most families, the opportunity to reconnect with their children was most important.
Sort of figuring out where our daughter sort of walks every day. What does she see? Where does she go? What does she like to show us?
Students showing their stomping grounds. Sadie Frankel, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Sadie.
Families may not have seen a football game this weekend. As NNN Simone Garber shows us, some students and their families created memories under the stars.
A brick building on the outside, an infinite world on the inside.
Honestly, I really enjoyed seeing the rings of Saturn. Just, I think being able to actually see the details on it is really exciting.
The Dearborn Observatory, free and open to all this past weekend. Visitors looking through the 18.5-inch telescope at the solar system.
It's not often that you have just an observatory at hand for you to look deep into space with.
That's Weinberg fourth year Ethan Rengifo. He and his team of observatory hosts offer guided tours of the rotunda.
Having that as part of family weekend programming is probably a really unique experience in Northwestern that we enjoy offering to families.
And it's not just family weekend. The Dearborn Observatory is open to the public every Friday night.
Every single week, actually, we let people know that they are part of this ongoing over-century-long tradition. So it makes for a pretty cool, ooh-ah moment.
Students stressing the importance of sharing this experience with loved ones.
This was actually the main thing that my mom wanted to see. Just because she's already really interested in astronomy and stuff like that.
One parent intent on making memories with her son. Her goal?
To be connected with him, of course. Yes, to share some experience and this university.
The Northwestern community, seeing our world through a different lens. Simone Garber, Northwestern News Network.
The Dearborn Observatory is open on Fridays from 9 to 10 p.m. for walk-in tours.
Coming up, Evanston taps into the Halloween spirit with the return of the Zombie Scramble.
And find out if you need to bundle up over your Halloween costume this year. We'll have a weather report when we come back.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
Welcome back. NNN's Alicia Tang is joining us now with the weather forecast heading into the Halloween weekend. Alicia?
Here on campus, you can really start to tell that it's fall. I'm standing by South Beach right now, and all I see is red. Today's sunny high of 74 was the much-needed reprieve we needed to get through our midterms. But soon enough, it will be time to pull on those cardigans. Moderate temperatures of 60s and 70s followed through to the end of the week, but we're not out of the woods just yet because this Halloween weekend will probably end in showers, maybe even midnight rain on Sunday with a low of 35. These temperatures are just a start to what will become a forever winter. Are you ready for it? Hoping for a state of grace to last us through the end of the spooky season. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Alicia.
You may have seen roses being passed out on Monday because everyone's favorite matchmaking service is back. Northwestern Marriage Pact announcing its annual return to campus in an email last week. The survey is currently closed to sign-ups, and according to the Marriage Pact, they will release matches soon. According to the service, new questions, improvements, and drama await the Northwestern community this year. The Marriage Pact says it is aiming to strike at least 75% of campus with Cupid's bow with this year's matching service.
The Acceptance Week promotes body positivity, body neutrality, and body liberation for all. Northwestern celebration kicked off with a mental health screening and resource chat in Norris earlier today. Events continue with Wednesday's drop-in consultations and suicide prevention training. The celebration will conclude with the Smashing Diet Culture event outside of Allison Dining Hall on Thursday at noon. For updated information on Body Acceptance Week events, follow HPAW and CAPS on Instagram.
A popular Evanston outdoor trail looked a little different this past Saturday, and NNN's Naya Reyes is bringing us back to life with a race that brings the thrill.
3, 2, 1,
Evanston's North Shore Channel Trail was creeping with zombies Saturday, joined by runners of all ages for the city's 8th annual Zombie Scramble.
My husband and I on the shuttle were saying we are a little nervous just because it's new and we don't know. And I reminded him that these are not real zombies, so hopefully that will help a little bit with their nerves.
With over 900 runners signing up, the goal is to make it through the course with all of their lives or the 2 flags still attached to the belt. A veteran of the game, Virginia Poole, came prepared with a strategy.
Well, all the other kids go in one direction, I'm just going to go in the opposite, so then it's like...
The scramble couldn't be possible without zombies, of course. About 100 volunteers dressed as zombies guarding the trail, all looking to get a good scare.
Yeah, we have a 3-prong attack where she's acting like she's like, help, help, help. She steps into this wide open area and drives them to the more narrow area. And then I step out from behind the tree. And then we also have a chaser who comes up from behind. So it's like a 3-prong attack. We thought about this way too much.
Other zombie volunteers took advantage of the makeup provided to become their undead selves.
They gave us makeup to use and had some tutorials, and so everybody got to get prepared and get their clothes on and hopefully get into character.
Zombie volunteers are placed in different infection zones to make sure the scramble is zombified the whole course.
We try to make Zone C the scariest. Zone C is, I think, the scariest. Wouldn't you say? Yeah.
If the course becomes too spooky, there are loads of other fun for the runners. From games to movies to food. On the North Shore Channel Trail, scurrying and scaring galore, Naya Reyes, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Naya. To sign up for next year's game, visit cityofelvanston.org in August.
And from one race to another, the Northwestern Triathlon Club held its annual Donut Run fundraiser at the Lakeville on Sunday. NNN's Jeremy Fredericks runs on with hundreds of Northwestern students and their parents.
For the last 3 years, Weinberg senior Alex Mangarelli and his father Mike have been participating in the Northwestern Triathlon Club's annual Donut Run.
Why do you keep coming back? The donuts. The donuts. I don't eat donuts all year except for this day.
With graduation around the corner, the father-son duo says,
I am going to miss it. I'll have to come down just for this.
I'm coming back. I'll just adopt a kid for the day.
Triathlon Club President Aaron Liu says it's a great way to fundraise. Their goal? $2,000 for bike rentals and competitions.
We also try to make it accessible because a triathlon is such an expensive sport.
The rules for the race are simple. Run around the Lakeville twice, and every time you eat a donut, you get to skip part of the course.
Who doesn't love donuts and running?
The race brings people together, even a handful of students from the University of Chicago's triathlon team.
The tri community is pretty small, and whenever we can support each other, we do.
Bernardo Saldivar has been here before. He won 2 years ago, and he's looking for a repeat.
I didn't run it, but it was way more competitive, so I don't know if I'll win or not.
Saldivar's starting off strong.
You were on like 11:20 pace.
And crossing the finish line first in just over 11 and a half minutes.
Yes, Bernardo! I got you! Let's go!
Dashing for donuts, Jeremy Fredericks, Northwestern News Network.
Aaron Liu says that Saldivar's 11.5-minute mark was fast but did not break the record. And the UChicago Triathlon team is looking to collaborate on a future event with the NU team.
Coming up, an Evanston business's flowery cause to inspire kindness. We'll be right back.
My narrative, since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition, has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
Welcome back. NNN's Naya Reyes is joining us with the latest science news updates under the microscope.
Good evening. I'm Hiren Kreisky with your weekly science news update. Let's take a look under the microscope. Today, we are featuring 2 astronomical achievements by Northwestern researchers. A new groundbreaking AI tool by Northwestern scientists just detected its first supernova earlier this month. The Bright Transient Survey Bot, or BTS, makes the detection, identification, and classification of supernova fully automated. This paves the way for speedier discoveries and decreasing human error. And researchers have discovered that our near celestial neighbor, the Moon, is actually older than we thought. By analyzing lunar crystals from the Apollo 17 mission in 1972, scientists have recalculated the age of the Moon. Previously, the Moon was estimated to be 4.425 billion years old. But the new study shows the Moon is actually 40 million years older than the previous estimate. The discovery was made possible by the Atom Probe Tomography facility developed by NU scientists, which enables atom-by-atom analysis. That's our look under the microscope. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Naya.
Local Evanston business handed out flowers to passersby last week, and NNN's Jonas Calderon-Blum shows us how Seville Flowers rose to the occasion.
Sometimes the simplest surprise brings out a smile.
I love it. I love the idea.
Last week, Seville Flowers teamed up with the Evanston Public Library as part of a national movement.
We're partnering with florists from across the nation to give a pair of flowers to everyone we see, one for them to keep, and then one for them to give to a friend or to a stranger.
Pedal It Forward is a flowery cause where...
And the whole premise of it is that there's proven mental health benefits behind giving and receiving flowers. It feels generous to give, it feels gracious to receive.
And for those who received a stem, it's a budding opportunity for a random act of kindness.
I love the whole idea of the day where you can give a flower to a stranger.
But it's not just over at the library. The flowers are stemming from right here at Seville Flowers' 81-year-old headquarters.
It's a fun thing to do and gets people to, stop by and put a smile on their face.
Mark Jones is the 4th-generation owner at Seville. He says this event is
inspire a next generation of flower buyers and get people to see the appreciation behind the natural beauty and kind of our fast-paced world.
Sowing the seeds of beauty.
My day at work, pleasant, more pleasant.
And joy. At the Evanston Public Library, Jonas Calderon-Blum, Northwestern News Network.
Well, Logan, Seville Flowers certainly looks like a cool store. I haven't ever had a chance to been. Have you been there before?
I have not, Max. We are both really slacking off, but I did just hear that our NNN advisor's daughter just got married, so maybe we should head down there and pick up some flowers for the family.
And Seville certainly looks like a great place to do it. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Max Rothstetter.
And I'm Logan Skijana. For all of us here at NNN, good night, and thanks for watching.